welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for the support. The channel's actually been growing, which is absolutely awesome. I am using a new camera system right now, and I guess to a degree this is also the test. Really bad roads and bad weather, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty general test on this camera to boot. A lot of people like to ask me, what is it like living with an EV, you know, with an electric vehicle, obviously. And it is a complicated question, but most times I tell people living with an EV is a lifestyle. Currently, it is a lifestyle. And the reason I say it's a lifestyle is because, well, you have to be adapted to it. You have to kind of change a little bit of your routines, change a little bit of your life to kind of suit, I guess, what you would call the needs of an EV. So what are those needs of the EV? Well, basically all that means is that, you know, you still got to charge the vehicle. And for me, I have unlimited supercharging for as long as I own this car. So naturally, I am not going to charge at home because it's pointless. It really is. I have superchargers, you know, within my area, within a comfortable area where I live. So why would I bother installing anything at home and charge anything? On top of it, I do live in a strata building. So my condo, for example, I'd have to go through the strata, I'd have to go through the approvals and all that mumbo jumbo just to get an approval to get my, you know, charger put in. All this means is, to me, it is actually much more convenient to go to a supercharger and, you know, charge every time I need it there. Now here's the tricky part. I actually don't mind it, and the reason I don't mind it is because, well, with my car, I mean, this is the Tesla 100D, right, the Model S, and so I have a dramatic amount of range. I don't worry about the range whatsoever. Hence, on a full charge, I'm more than happy. And when people ask me, well, how often do I charge? And obviously this is very much dependent on, well, how low I am on the battery to start with. That's very important. That's the more important part. And I don't usually let it run very low unless I am severely busy. All this means is I'm going to, on average, you can say I will go to a supercharger, let's say twice a week. Heck, let's increase it to 3 times a week just for fun. Okay, but the average is around 1 to 2 times a week, depending on how much I drive, obviously. And the reason I say this is because depending on how much I drive, it may not actually even require me to go out, let's say on a Friday or a Saturday or Monday or Tuesday or any day, go out of my way, because where I am, I do have superchargers kind of along the paths of where I work. So if I'm coming home from work, I can always just stop by one of the malls, which so happen to have a supercharger, you know, plug my car in, get my paperwork done, and by the time my paperwork is done, so is my car. Now, if I go to a supercharger with, you know, 50% remaining, it's kind of pointless because, to be honest, you know, it's really fast. I just go there and 50% is still a massive amount of range. So I typically try and drop my car down to 30 or 20% before I decide to go charge it up again. I'm going to go back to what I said right in the beginning of the video. You know, living with an EV, it is a lifestyle. You're changing a few things around in your personal life to kind of accommodate the EV vehicle into your life. So what does this mean to most people? Most people may definitely have no interest in doing this. Most people may be, you know, too busy or whatever it may be. I mean, I have heard more excuses from non-EV owners to why they wouldn't buy an EV than you can possibly count. And I'll tell you, I am busy. I'm always busy. And because I'm always busy, it's not always easy for me to, you know, change things around just to accommodate the EV needs or the EV lifestyle. Or so I thought. Turns out that I actually get a lot more of my work done in the car while I'm waiting for it to charge than, let's say, by the time I get home. And the reason for this, on a personal level, and this is all personal, you know, it applies to me personally. But on a personal level, if I am at a job site I am on my way home. Usually when I get home, I just want to sit down a little bit, chill out, relax, and that means that I will leave the paperwork usually for the next morning, do an early morning paperwork, or do it later on that night. Well, if I stop by an EV charger, I will do one of two things. One, I will go and get some of the things I may need, or two, I'll sit in the car, I'll update all my paperwork for that day, and to be honest with you guys, more often than not, the car is charged up before I'm actually done with the paperwork. I can make the phone calls I need, everything else is nice and quiet, I have heated seats, blah blah blah, so I'm always in a comfortable position to just sit back, talk to the people, and talk to my clients or whatever it may be. So that part actually doesn't interfere with me. To me personally, and again, this is a personal thing, it actually helps me. So going to a charger became kind of a thing where if I don't have to go, or I haven't used the car enough that I need to charge the car, I find myself kind of out of whack on that, because I say, okay, well, I don't need to go to a charger, but I'm kind of used to the idea of getting my paperwork and all those things down while I'm waiting for the charger. Now, you might think, okay, well, how long do you have to wait for the charger? In my case, because I usually like to drop it down to 30% or less, I typically, because I'm charging it up to 90%, I typically will wait around 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the charger, because if I go to a supercharger, it's stupendously fast. If I go to a urban charger, it's half the speed, so it actually gives me a little bit more time. And I actually prefer to go to a supercharger if I need a quick charge, and if I just need a simple, slower something where I want to kind of, with the Christmas season here, I might want to go shopping. I don't necessarily want to run out to move my car, so I would prefer an urban charger, because that will take a little bit longer, well, twice as much, to actually charge up the car, giving me more time to look around, do the shopping thing, and so forth and so on. If I really, really want as much time as I can, buy on it, then I'll just plug it into one of the level 2 chargers, and that way I have all the time I need, because level 2 chargers frankly suck, they're slow. So yeah, that's what it is. But living with an EV, for me, it's only helped me. It really did. It hasn't done anything negative in terms of the way I changed my life. It feels, to me personally, I feel better overall, because I feel like I've done a lot more creative things since I have this car. Because in the beginning, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to, okay, well, how am I going to schedule it? And I would say the first month or so, you have that little anxiety about range. Well, what does 30% mean exactly, or what does 50% mean exactly? I think we can all deal with a little bit of a interesting and new adventure in our lives. These days, everything is very stale, and it feels stale even when you're busy, even when you're doing the things you love to do. I love doing these shows, I guess, for you guys. I love working on all of my channels, and for me, YouTube is a passion. I enjoy it, I love it. I just love seeing your comments. I love interacting with everybody. So for me, going out and driving around and doing car vlogs, for example, I absolutely love it. It's an amazing feeling. And I've never had the real true urge to do this with any other car except this one. This one offers me so much. One of the key things about this car is, see, I am a very expressive person. I like to use my hands when I'm talking to people. Autopilot helps me do this a great deal. It really does. But at the same time, the car itself is an amazing car. There's a lot of things that come along with this car. The updates, the entire system, what you're looking at. It's basically a very large cockpit that you're sitting in, and it just works. So with that said, the EV life for me has done amazing things. It gives me an adventure. It gives me a new learning tool. It gives me a chance to learn new things, explore new things, see where the future might be heading. And this doesn't necessarily mean the future with Tesla. This could mean the future with electric vehicles in general. I do not want anybody to ever think that I am what you would call just a Tesla guy. I do love EVs. My only issue with EVs in general is the fact that when you look at EVs, unfortunately not everybody's up to par yet. And there are a number of companies coming out who I believe are going to hopefully do something good for the EV community. I enjoy this car, and I enjoy the electric car life, right? The EV life, if you will. And this is why I answer to everybody the same thing every time I get asked, what is it like living with an EV? It's amazing. It really is. It's nothing more than a lifestyle. You have to look at it for what it is. And honestly, EVs currently are more of a lifestyle than they are practical for majority of the people. There is a small learning curve, not a big one, but a small one, and it's not for everybody. I don't think I can stress that enough on the channel. I don't think I can stress that enough on the comments. Even in real life, when people approach me, I have a hard time trying to explain this to people that it's not for everybody. If you are the kind of person who is not open to change, not open to new technology, not open to learning, this definitely will not be for you. It's just what it is. If you're the kind of person who likes to sit and really be familiar with one thing and really understand it, and you don't want to change that, that's completely fine. This vehicle is not for everyone. The EV vehicles is not for everyone. But it is for me. It is for my wife. It is for our lifestyle. And we are happy to make the slight changes required just to see what's going to happen next. Just to see what the future holds in this category. All you have to do is go down to a nearest Tesla showroom. And I understand they're not all over the place. They're not everywhere. Find one. When you have a chance, go down there. Ask them for a test drive. Then get back to me on the channel and tell me what you think. It's a lifestyle. It really is. And that's my answer. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to the next video, because next video I'm gonna do some things to this car. I've been looking forward to it. It's already dealt with. Everything, the big stuff is done. But I gotta go in to get some things done to this car. So look forward to the next video. Till then, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, because, well, your support is what's going to make this channel grow. Bye-bye. Till next time. See ya.